The year was 2018. A young upstart YouTuber calling himself Revan posts a review for the Xbox game Predator Concrete Jungle. Roll it back another year, and that very same YouTuber started on an endeavor of reviewing every US released game in the Power Rangers series. The last video I posted was, well, 3 years ago. But with various personal turmoils and what have you in the past, I'm back, baby, and back in proper form. Finishing off the Power Rangers era, aside from 4 handheld games, at least at this point, but never say never. Today we'll be taking a look at the Super Nintendo game Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. Let's see if I still have it. It's more... No. I have something better. Back to action! The Fighting Edition was released in 1995, the same year that the first MMPR movie and its various games were released. Unlike previous games in the franchise to this point, the only playables in this game are Megazords and grown monsters, including Goldar, Lord Zed, and a super secret final boss. You'll never guess who it is. The game offers 3 modes of play: a story/arcade mode, a tournament/2-player mode, and a training mode. The tournament mode sees you taking on 9 1v1 fights, with the player able to play as either the Thunder Megazord or the Mega Tigerzord. The gauntlet starts with what could be considered sparring matches between whichever playable wasn't picked, followed by a fight with the Ninja Megazord, previously featured in Power Rangers the movie, the game. There's also a fight against the hella-stacked Shogun Megazord, though given the lore from the show, this could be seen as less of a sparring match and more of a good Zord versus bad Zord fight. From there, it's typical fare between the chosen playable and the various villains on the offer. The aforementioned Zed and Goldar, as well as Lip Syncer, a strangely erotic-looking monster, Silverhorns, previously seen in Power Rangers the movie, the game, and the super secret bonus fight, who makes his appearance known after the defeat of Zed. Why, it's our old friend Ivan Ooze, previously seen in Power Rangers the movie, the game. You know, it's only now, as an adult, that I realize that this game and the movie game are meant more as one complete package instead of as 2 individual games, especially with the inclusion of Silverhorns in both games, acting as kind of a bridging point between the two. Well, you also have Ooze bridging that gap, but that just helps prove my theory. I should also mention that the company that developed these games, Natsume, went on to make what I've heard is a very solid Gundam Wing fighting game, using the same engine. I'd give my 2 cents on it, but it's a Japanese-only release. Yes, I have a soft-modded Super Nintendo that can play Japanese games, but unfortunately, I don't own the game. Maybe it'll be something worth digging into at a later date. The gameplay is nothing new or noteworthy. It's essentially a Street Fighter II clone. It even features its own versions of the Hadouken and Shoryuken, though I personally can never get them to activate with any consistency. That might have more to do with the fact that I am absolute shite at fighting games, as I have previously mentioned. All things considered, both playables are pretty much the same, aside from some different flashy graphics from the typical Street Fighter inputs. The game refers to this mode as Story Mode, but I'm hesitant to call it that because, well, there's no story. It's just a series of fights with nothing tying them together. I know, nobody plays a fighting game for the story mode, but I never had anybody to play 2-player with, so my experiences with most all of these games that feature 2-player modes, I never experienced that way. So I'm just relaying my thoughts and feelings of how my younger self experienced them. But enough of that mildly sad childhood, back to the subject at hand. I feel like I've devoted serious time in past reviews to the difficulty of each game. Whilst I did struggle with the final 2 fights against Zed and Ooze, I had nowhere near the struggle I had with, say, the movie game. I don't generally enjoy fighting games due to my aforementioned meh ability at them, but I wouldn't say fun, but I didn't hate it. I say slap that on the box. It's as close to a glowing review as I personally can give it. While the game as a standalone package leaves a little to be desired, viewing it as part of an overall whole with the movie game does make it shine a bit more. Yeah, that's only my personal headcanon on the matter, but hey, makes sense to me at least. I would put it a step above the original MMPR games, on par with the SNES movie game, but below the movie game on Genesis. Now, let's be honest, I'd never say any of these games are great games. While they do have their high points, there's no way any of these would be any kind of competition for your elite games on the systems like Sonic, Super Mario World, Mega Man X, Streets of Rage, etc. But they do offer some solid beat 'em up and fighting action that you can plow through anywhere from 1 to 4 hours. I'd recommend giving it a go if you need a quick fighting game fix but don't feel like giving Street Fighter II a go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, all that jazz. Next time we power up for more and go Zeo.